Welcome in everyone. Today we're going to show off some upcoming single player games that we think you won't want to miss. All of these games have got us excited at Terrible Tactics, especially number 5 on today's list. So grab some popcorn and let's have a look at these games. Hellblade 2 is a follow-up to the award-winning Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice, a game known for its deeply personal narrative and innovative design. But hold on to your controllers, because Hellblade 2 is setting out to level up the experience. Ninja Theory has been teasing us with trailers and tech demos, showcasing incredibly detailed environments and an impressive visual fidelity that's got our jaws dropping. Fans of the first game rejoice because our heroine Senua is back, but don't expect a peaceful journey. In one trailer we see Senua and her group trying and failing to trap a giant. Things get a little messy. When it comes to gameplay, Hellblade 2 is expected to offer more of the same third-person action adventure that we loved from the first game. The combat is said to be more in-depth with more varied enemies to tackle. Details about the story are being kept under wraps. We've seen glimpses of massive landscapes, swamps filled with skulls, volcanic eruptions, sacrifices, and mass hysteria. But how these elements tie into Senua's journey remains a mystery. The developers behind Hellblade 2 are the same masterminds who brought us Enslaved: Odyssey to the West and DMC Devil May Cry. If you're familiar with these titles, you know we're in for an epic experience. But be warned, PlayStation owners, unlike its predecessor that released on multiple platforms, Hellblade 2 will be exclusive to Xbox Series X and PC. Clockwork Revolution is a steampunk-infused FPS action-adventure set in a unique world that manages to feel both weirdly reminiscent of the past and distinctly sci-fi. The game is set in the world of Avalon, characterized by a Victorian steampunk aesthetic, complete with flying steam trains, large blimps, and plenty of robots. The world is ruled by the mysterious Lady Ironwood, who you'll be going up against in your adventure. The game has a dynamic time-bending combat system and allows you to create your own unique character. It's set in a vibrant Victorian-era metropolis where wealthy industrialists replace their limbs with ornate clockwork prosthetics and mechanical servants fulfill their master's every whim. Lady Ironwood's use of her time travel allows her to manipulate Avalon's history to maintain the social hierarchy. You'll also have a time travel device known as the chronometer, which will allow you to travel back in time and influence the past. This is a new title from the developers of Wasteland 3, known for their immersive worlds and adventures, and it's shaping up to be something phenomenal. Some fans and critics have noticed similarities between Clockwork Revolution and Bioshock Infinite, particularly in the aesthetic and some elements of the trailers. However, Microsoft has stated that any similarities with Bioshock are unintentional, so while there might be a familiar feel, Clockwork Revolution aims to carve its own path. The release window for Clockwork Revolution is currently set for 2024, and it will be available on Xbox Series X and PC platforms. It's also been confirmed that the game will come to Xbox Game Pass as a day one release. Banishers: Ghosts of New Eden is set in a fictionalized colony called New Eden and features 2 playable characters, Antea and Red, who are both involved in ghost hunting. The story is shaped by the choices you make, and each decision made by one protagonist will directly impact the other. In terms of story, Antea and Red, who are lovers as well as ghost hunters, are sent to eradicate the ghostly threats that plague New Eden. After a failed investigation, Antea is fatally wounded and becomes a ghost. The couple must then search for a way to cure Antea's spiritual affliction. The gameplay is more action roleplay compared to Don't Nod's previous games. It's expected to be similar to Remember Me, but with more emphasis on sword, ghost, and folklore. The game will also feature tailorable story arcs and in-game actions that will lead to various consequences. You'll be able to immerse yourself in the lore-rich world of New Eden, solve haunting cases, and use a combination of Antea's spiritual powers and Red's arsenal to defeat and banish the souls tormenting the living. The game is expected to release in late 2023 on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC via Steam. Sandland is an open-world action RPG that takes place in a desert world suffering from an extreme water shortage. As a player, you'll step into the shoes of Beelzebub, the Fiend Prince, who teams up with Sheriff Rayo and a demon named Thief to embark on an epic quest for a legendary water source. You'll roam the vast desert, encountering dangers, meeting helpful characters, and uncovering secrets. The game features both vehicular and character combat, with a variety of customizable vehicles available to help you traverse the challenging desert terrain and take on powerful foes. In addition, you can also build up your base into a thriving city with the aid of the characters you meet throughout your journey. Comparisons have been drawn between Sandland and Dragon Ball, given the involvement of Akira Toriyama. Despite being its own entity, the game carries a familiar vibe that fans of the popular anime will appreciate. The visuals, while not explicitly detailed in the sources, are expected to resonate with Toriyama's signature art style. While there's a lot to be excited about, the game is still under wraps, so we'll have to wait for more information in the future. Star Wars Outlaws is an upcoming action-adventure game developed by Massive Entertainment, a Ubisoft studio, and published under license by Lucasfilms Games. This isn't some small indie project, we're talking about a collective effort from Ubisoft studios across the globe, from Annecy to Shanghai, along with Lucasfilms Games pitching in. This game's making waves, and it hasn't even hit our screens yet. Set between the events of The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, the game offers a fresh take on the Star Wars universe. But don't worry, no Jedi mind tricks here. You'll take control of an outlaw scoundrel named Kay Vest, voiced by Humberly Gonzalez, and her companion Nix, portrayed by D. Bradley Baker, as they attempt one of the biggest heists the Outer Rim has ever seen. This is not your typical hero's journey. The game features stealth and open combat, vehicle combat, space combat, and a branching dialogue, so you'll get to talk your way out of, or into, trouble. You'll be navigating an open world, taking jobs for and against various factions in the galaxy, but be careful because your actions will affect your reputation with these factions. So choose your friends wisely and your enemies, well, you get the idea. In terms of gameplay, Star Wars Outlaws is a third-person shooter with an emphasis on stealth. You can go loud, but sometimes it's wiser to avoid conflict. A lesson we could all learn, I think. Kay's blaster is your primary weapon with different modes for different situations. And yeah, you'll be flying around the galaxy in your own ship. Think No Man's Sky meets Star Wars. Some have compared the game to Star Wars Jedi Survivor, but with more emphasis on stealth and faction-based gameplay. The planets in Outlaws are much larger, requiring a speeder to cross them. Additionally, unlike the Jedi series, Outlaws allows you to actually fly your ship around the galaxy. However, the space dogfight sequences don't look as challenging as in Star Wars Squadrons. The ground game, on the other hand, could offer interesting moments, like the option to surrender before a fight, but whether these are regular features or just part of the demo remains to be seen. As for the narrative, we know the story involves a big heist, and the game's lead writer is Nikki Foy, so we're expecting some really clever plot twists. But remember, this is the first open-world Star Wars game ever. It's a bold step, and as with any new venture, there could be bumps along the hyperspace route. Let's hope we get to see Kay do more than just shoot, sneak, and fly, and that we get to experience the quieter moments of life in the Star Wars universe. The game is set to release in 2024 for PlayStation 5, Windows, and Xbox Series X and S. We hope you found the next single-player game you're excited for among these 5. If not to worry, because there are plenty more single-player games out there, both upcoming and released. So make sure to subscribe to Terrible Tactics so we can do our best to find you your next favorite game. Until next time, take it easy.